So in today's class, you were given the task dealing with paint swatches. So in order to review this activity, I first wanted to go through what your task was. So each group was given a bag of paint swatches, and your task as a group, organize these in a meaningful way. You could translate this however you wanted to, and it resulted in different arrangements from different groups, but essentially you had to decide on your arrangement and lay them out on the lab bench in this arrangement. Then I asked you to, on your whiteboard, draw a diagram explaining the arrangements that you chose for your paint swatches. Afterwards, I had the groups kind of present their arrangement, and we tried to look at these questions. So how were the swatches arranged by different groups? Was it random, or was it thoughtful? And did each group provide reasoning for their arrangement? And as a result, could you see any trends that they made in their decision to group their paint swatches? So let's say, for example, this is the arrangement that I had come up with. As you can see here, I decided to sort these by almost the color. So over here, you can see, change the pen color here. Alright, so over on this side, you can see that there's the reds, and it goes from lightest to darkest. You can see that that pattern holds for all of them, and you can also see that it kind of follows almost Roy G. Biv here, which is the acronym for the rainbow, as you probably know. So the colors, as you go down the row, down this way, you can see them getting lighter at the top and getting darkest at the bottom, and following this pattern as you go across. So you can see that there was definitely some reasoning put into why the paint swatches were organized in this way, and as a result you can see these trends. So something like lightest to darkest, the top to the bottom, and the trends in how it was sorted this way as you go across. Now I want you to keep these things in mind in terms of sorting these arrangements following these specific patterns when we talk about periodicity. Later on in today's lesson, as this relates greatly to the trends that you select to kind of group and arrange different items. So we did the paint swatches here, so that it reflects the idea that there's essentially many different trends that are taken into account in an arrangement, and you can learn a lot about different items based off of their position in the arrangement. For example, if I wanted to know something about this bottom paint swatch here, by knowing that it goes from lightest to darkest at the top to the bottom, you now know that since this is at the very bottom of a row, or I should say the bottom of a column, you now know that this is going to be the darkest. So this is going to come into play when we talk about periodicity in the periodic table and why it is called the periodic table.